Thanks, guys. We're here at the Canadian Brewhouse in Winnipeg, Manitoba on the segment From the Locker Room. I'm Nicholas Bueno.
Keith McKnight. Shout out to the Canadian Brewhouse. Got a nice sports environment here. We saw some nice trophies there.
Oh,
so
yeah.
The World Series.
Beautiful.
Lord Stanley was there.
Oh, yeah.
The FIFA World Cup. So, shout out.
It's a beautiful place here at the Canadian Brewhouse. Today's topic is trades in junior hockey. Should they be allowed?
I think they should. I think that you don't agree with them.
No, I don't.
Why? Why is that?
Okay, well, let's look at the whole preparing somebody for something in an institution aspect. When you have prep schools and colleges, when they're trying to prepare kids for college, they're preparing them academically. So, they kind of force them to learn how to write papers. They teach them how to manage course loads, all that kind of stuff. However, you can't just walk into class eating a slice of pizza late because then they're going to punish you. The idea with this analogy is when you're trying to prepare somebody for the next level, you prepare them in small increments. You don't overload them. You don't bombard them with stuff and treat them as if they're already there, because if they're ready, they'd already been at that level.
Okay, but junior hockey and NCAA and education-sanctioned leagues are completely in two different arenas, Nick, right? Student-athlete comes first in a place like U Sports or the NCAA.
Okay.
And in junior hockey, your hockey comes first.
Are they really that different, though? Are they really that different?
I think they are.
Let's outline this right here. Junior hockey is basically the NCAA without being directly tied to an educational institution. You're still got players playing. You're trying to prepare them for the next level. They still have to be in school. And all eyes are on them. And they're also not making any money. So why should they be held to a different standard? 16 and 17-year-olds being treating like NHL superstars who make millions of dollars every year when they don't have that kind of money to rebound.
Well, these are private organizations who come into leagues such as the Manitoba Junior Hockey League or the Ontario Hockey League. Those are where education, yes, it's not sanctioned that way. Like, they don't really give out, like, you can't play in high school and get a scholarship to go play on a junior hockey team. You get drafted. So it already starts, and that's how they choose to work their system in a completely different umbrella, Nick. Education as, where okay, I'm going to teach this kid how to be a student athlete. And the NCAA, you see it on TV all the time, student comes first. Well,
we all know that's not true. However, they're not really different leagues. They're not they're different leagues, sure, by name, but they're, like I said, they're basically the same. There's a difference. They're getting drafted. College kids choose to where they get to play. Is it that much different? Because, if a lot of people want the best player in the country at an NCAA school, and one team gets to him first, there's the order of the teams that you're getting that he gets to choose from, right? Same thing with the draft.
But when you go through the junior system, the university route is not really looked at until after your junior career, because in your junior career, you find out if you're going to go pro or not. So when you're going to make the jump to go pro and you already have, some dealings with being called into the office of the GM, being like, hey, I just traded you. If you're able to handle those types of pressures from a younger age, I think it's all the much better for you.
Well, why do you have to treat kids like that in the first place?
Because it's a business.
They're 15.
It's a business.
Exactly. It's a business. They're looking out for the owners. They're looking out for the pockets of the guys running the teams. Why not look out for the players? If you want to prepare the players fully for the next level, you have to control the environment so that they're eased into the pros.
But you are. You got the bus rides.
Are they getting paid? Are they getting paid?
You got this.
Are they getting paid?
They are not getting paid. They're not getting paid.
They're not getting paid.
Okay, with them getting paid is a topic for a completely different show.
I agree. We're not discussing that right now. Okay. So under the assumption, or not the assumption, because it's true, that they're not getting any money, don't trade them. You don't have the money to pay. You don't have the money to pay each player. Then don't act like you have the money to trade them and act like the NHL.
Well, what about the reasons for this trade? We were talking with Glenn off air that, some players get traded for, one, playing time, two, the team that he's on potentially wants to make a run for the championship, and this player probably just sucks. And they want to bring in somebody better, maybe trade up for a draft pick maybe. Well, that's another topic that we're going to touch on as well. Or the team that wants him, the team that he's on is making a run for the championship and don't need him.
The ownership's just got to kick rocks for making bad decisions. I'm sorry. Don't get players that you don't want then.
Yeah, but this is what these kids signed up for.
Yeah, sure. You're signing up for a junior hockey. I'm not saying the kids are signing up for junior hockey knowing they're going to get traded and they're sad that they're going to get traded.
But it's a potential case that could happen.
Okay, let's put it like this. Some kids play for teams that originally they're not even from in the first place, right? Okay, so if you're from Winnipeg, you go live in Oshawa, and then you get traded again. So you went from Winnipeg to Oshawa, now to, I don't know, all the way across the country to BC.
So now you're talking about two different leagues, because that's kind of like how that would work. Because, well, that's like being traded from Winnipeg to from the Jets to the Leafs. That's like, I don't think anybody's going to be like, oh, hey, I don't want to go and cry about it. So
somebody might cry about it. Actually,
it's
very emotional. Very emotional
to
be traded.
It's fine.
Yeah,
I get it, but
yeah,
you
can
can't
be traded,
get involved.
You can be traded in the NHL because you have millions of dollars to fall back on. Oh no, I got traded. Oh, at least I have my $5 million salary where I can go at least rent a place till the end of the season.
A billet family will take care of. You're signed up for a billet family.
My bad. I'm sorry, billet family with a 4-year-old who I made friends with. I'm sorry, I'm leaving because an owner who doesn't have enough money to pay me thinks I'm an NHL player. So I'm leaving. Bye. You'll never see me again.
Now when you start digging into the hearts of these players for the emotional side and the relationship building aspects, of course, okay, that's very tough. You did mention that that's why they should probably exercise like a 1-year, contract,
of course.
just playing that way.
Why not just have 1-year contracts? Players can renew at the end of the season. You can retain that. You get certain rights if the player is already on your team the year before to have first dibs to try to negotiate why they should come back. And if not, the player can just dissolve his contract and look for a new team. If he's that bad, nobody will sign him again and the writing will be on the wall. None of the teams want me. Maybe I shouldn't play hockey anymore. And if
the writing would be on the wall if it was the 1-year deal, right? Your career would be over.
There you go.
Yes,
that's
the hint right there. Yes, if there are no trades. But the trade, it's a system, and there's a process in those leagues, and I'm with the process, Nick.
Just because it's been there doesn't mean it needs to continue.
I think it should continue. You got to get dealt. I mean, teams want to build. We touched on basically, they want to, if they get trade up for draft picks, they're building for the 4th year, right? So they can get all those picks and just build and build and build. So, I don't know. These trades are really important. I mean, some GMs are probably going to want to trade a kid for a potential. Like, scouts are out there. Like, some of these junior teams have a lot of scouts that are looking at this talent.
Use them to recruit better players instead of just like, oh, our kid sucks. Let's just throw draft picks at another team. And hopefully we land a star.
Well, we discussed that that there isn't very much money in junior hockey to begin with, right?
For sure.
I mean, so there's some teams who probably wouldn't even, such as the Brandon Wheat-Kings, who are major junior in the WHL, who wouldn't even be able to pay a roster of minimum wage over the course of a year. So, is there even money to really pay them? I don't really think that there would be.
And like you said, that's not what we're talking about today. And that's a fair point that a lot of teams don't have money. Yeah, sure. So then don't act like you're the NHL. Like, don't act like you're a big-time league trading kids around like you got your big-time flexing when you don't have that kind of money, when you don't have that kind of notoriety.
But these kids are trying to make the jump to the NHL.
Sure. So let them have the power over their own careers.
You won't have the power of your own career once you go pro in the NHL.
Exactly. So why not have it now?
You
don't be a commodity your whole life.
You're total. I'm with the business umbrella under the side of those things, Nick.
Oh, we can't let the owners dictate hockey when the kid starts at 13.
Yeah, but
what if the junior hockey league forms? Like, what happens when that forms? You start drafting 8 and 7-year-olds.
Why not?
Oh, sorry.
You got to start them young. Did you know that the NHL has 31 players from Manitoba in it? We could have that league here. 31 players from this province alone.
There needs to be a cutoff point between acting like a big-time business and realizing what you are and steering into that. We're a junior hockey league. We're trying to prepare kids for the jump, whether it's a league, whether it's a career in Europe, whether it's the NHL, whatever it may be.
But you still get traded in Europe.
Yes, because it's a big-time league.
Okay.
They have more money. So they can act like it.
Got to get traded, man. You got to know how the system works. You got to be groomed. You got to be.
I think they know. I think they know trades happen. I don't think there's one kid who gets drafted to the NHL and he's like, I guess I'm stuck with this team for life.
What if you're just not a good locker room guy where you are, and then you get injected into that locker room, and what if you're the guy that's been missing there? So you got to be open to these opportunities.
Well, I guess they should have recruited you in the first place then. Well, then you'll find out, and if you get the 1-year contract system,
which I don't think that they're going to do.
Well, that's not whether they are going to or not. I think they should because it promotes player movement. Power to the players in leagues that are successful around the world, especially a league where you don't have money to be throwing around to pay the players. So if you have players,
they get a lot of free gear. They get a lot of free gear. They get hooked up with a lot of stuff.
That's so worth it. You're right.
In the NCAA, you get hooked up with all that free gear. You get all
And what do they say? They want to be paid, right? The NCAA, however, the NCAA, the difference is they can afford to pay the players.
Wouldn't you, Kate? Oh, here's a good, Kate. You have a stick budget on a junior hockey team of $80,000. A personal friend of mine, Cody Kennedy, who played for the Verdun Oil Capitals, went through 8 sticks that year on that budget. So if you want to talk about money,
imagine how many more he would have went through if he got traded. Just out of breaking them, frustration.
Well, he probably would have went through 8 more on the other team with that other team's stick budget.
Yeah,
that sure would open up for them.
So now you're just running through the stick budget.
And then you get
like, if he's breaking 8 per team, if that's the measurement that we're going by.
Okay.
And he gets traded, that's 16 sticks.
Well, there you go. So
you're wasting more money by trading.
Players take advantage of all those types of things in any level that they're at, let alone money. That stick budget, Sherwood's not going to give them money just to give them money.
Exactly.
Give them a product.
So keep them in the same market so that you can keep the money in-house.
So he used the money out of that product. That's fine, and they're going to keep handing it out. It's Sherwood's name on publicly advertised for them.
My point, I think we kind of got way off track. My point is, when you have a league that doesn't have big-time money to throw around, acting like it is, then you have that disconnect. Junior hockey needs to be honest about what it is. It's a preparatory league trying to get kids ready for the next level. So they're exposed. Which
they are. They know that.
High-level hockey.
Yes.
Great players.
Elite hockey, yes.
And traveling, which is enough for kids to prepare. Like, what happens if you start getting, like, club sports to get kids traded? AAU basketball, kids are getting traded. They're about the same age as these kids in junior hockey.
Yeah, but those are completely. Well, why don't they? Those are that's like you and I, like 2 dads who want to start a super team because like your kid got cut from another one. It's way easier to start a team in the AAU than it is to bring in a junior hockey team, right? So I mean, you and I can go start a club basketball program tomorrow, faster than we can start a junior hockey team.
Yeah, I guess that's a fair point. Anyways, back to you guys.